I just stopped by the gun store today and picked up a new carry concealed piece. No, not really. This is a Walther P-38, or at least Walther by design and Walther by patent. This is, I think this, if, you know what, I don't really collect war pieces, but I'm pretty sure that this is the only wartime, war service firearm that I own. I'm not really so much a collector of firearms, but I have firearms that I buy basically because I shoot the shit out of them. So as far as historical value goes to me, I mean, yeah, I'll look at something as having that value to it, that historical and intrinsic value to it. But at the end of the day, I like to shoot my guns. So I'm probably going to put this one through its paces sometime in the future. But again, this is a Walther P-38, and you can see here, if I can get it in focus. Let's try again. So you got that CYQ right there. So that right there, that was a code for where this was made by the Spreeworks company in Kraut, Czechoslovakia. And the reason I know all this is threefold. One, I've always wanted a P-38, so I kind of read up on the history thanks to, two, the internet, and three, I worked at a gun store and I like to hem on bullshit about guns. So again, this was made by the Spreeworks company, and according to the internet and this serial number, now you have to understand this isn't 1,681. This is 1,681 of a certain fabrication year, because they made hundreds of thousands of these, and that D denotes when they started recounting on the dates. So at the Spreeworks company, according to the internet, this date falls somewhere in June of 1943, which you can see by a lot of the tool markings. Let me flip that up. A lot of the tool markings on this firearm, rather unrefined as it were, as you can see here on the underside of the trigger guard and the front strap. This was pretty much a rushed job towards the end of the war. And, during wartime production, you tend to, field equipment as in a serviceable fashion as fast as you can. So they didn't really have time, especially in Czechoslovakia, to really be honing and refining these pistols. So again, this is a wartime fabrication, and you can see the proofing marks here. So this was not commercial. Let's see right there. So you got the Iron Eagle there centered, a little proofing mark there on the right, and the 88 denoting that it passed inspection at the Spreeworks company. So I've probably held this thing a total of 6 minutes, 3 of which you've seen. And one of the things that I wanted to check was how intuitive this thing would be for takedown. So we'll do it by the numbers. Lock it. By the numbers, I would have dropped the magazine first. Let me check this magazine here. Alright, so this is a post-production magazine, because it does not have the same serial number. These would come with 2 magazines of a similar serial number. I can see right there that toggle's similar to a Beretta, and what that does is that helps to delay the blowback, because it'll stay locked upon, let me just take it forward here. It would stay locked under recoil for that moment of time right there, at which point the charge would take the slide back the rest of the way, dropping this toggle to allow the slide to reciprocate on its own without the barrel. So let's we'll see if it works like this. Yeah, common takedown pin. I'm going to keep it on safe right now, because what that'll do is that'll decock the hammer. Yeah, I thought so. That'll decock the hammer on its way forward. And there's 2. I did not anticipate that, but it has 2 drive springs for mitigating recoil and returning around in the battery. Let's see. just comes out the front again, like a Beretta. This would stay in lockup in this fashion here, in line with the channels, and then under recoil would allow this to release. Let me get that. Would allow this to release from the slide. As you can see, they're locked up. Let me try that a little bit. I'm going to hold that. They're locked up. That plunger would hit its rearward travel, unlocking and allowing the slide to extract the fired round. And then, let's see, oh, there it is. It's recessed. Then it would hit this ejector pin and eject the round out to the right. And similar to Beretta 92, obviously this was produced way before it, but similar to a Beretta 92, it's got that wide top ejection port, and that allows for pretty good ejection, extraction, and weapons clearing under any kind of malfunction. So that's about as far down as I'm going to take it. Put it back together here. Maybe I should look at it rather than trying to look through the camera. Let's see. But yeah, pretty intuitive design. We'll do a full functions check. Check the function of the magazine. Make sure it locks to the rear. Magazine locks to the rear. Let it go forward under its own spring tension. Test the safe. Weapon does not fire. Test the fire. Let's see here. Hammer should cock. That's a nice stiff double action. 1, 2, and hold. Reciprocate the slide. Test the single action. Weapon fires. All right, yeah, that single action brake. A lot of people are like, "Oh, why are you dry firing that? Oh, blah blah blah." Metallurgy back in the day. Nah, fuck you. You can dry fire these weapons. They're sturdy. Oh yeah, I like that. It's a nice crisp single action trigger. And even though the double action's stiff, it tends to break almost at almost at the same place, and very predictable. Similar to, like, I guess how a Beretta 92 series would, compared to double action, single action. But there's the old Walther P-38 wartime production. Glad to have it. It's I guess the first World War II war relic that I've ever owned, so maybe it's the start of something.